Yo, what's shaking AC?
Okay, so you clearly need to go for another run because I don't think I think you have too much energy.
Oh, I got a lot of energy. I've been outside running in the heat. I love it. Right in the middle of the day when it's the hottest and it's the most humid and I'm just sweating and drenched. I just feel so vindicated after having to suffer through snow and salt and slush and cold. I'm just like, get into me. Let me sizzle. I have no apprehensions about walking around with pit puddles and sweating.
Perfect. So now, and you do have that shower playlist that we announced
Such a good
one of the earlier rants a long time ago.
Yep. And now I've got some White Claw flavored watermelon. I love watermelon. So I drink that sometimes in the shower as well.
Awesome. I wonder how many people start the rant and just skip the first 2 minutes.
Yeah. I don't want to listen to this moron just ramble about drinking in the shower and running in the heat. Let's get to the juice here.
Or maybe they just listen to that and then they don't care about the rest. Who knows?
Maybe. We're going to take this on the road and we'll see responses. Anyways, whatever. I digress. Let's get to the point. You got all these rockin' roundtables going on, just a buttload of roundtables, one for established franchisors, emerging franchise.
You're keeping this like censored or rated like PG whatever 13, like a buttload. Okay.
Well, everyone has butts.
I say
truckload. I don't know what it is.
Okay. Anyway, buttload of roundtables. Yes.
Yep. And you got like marketing ones, and you got this FBC one for franchise business coaches, which I think is so important because, at least personally, from what I've seen and what I believe is, I think a lot of people misunderstand what an FBC actually is, especially emerging franchisors. If you've been in the franchise industry and you get it, you know who you're hiring, all that sort of stuff. But if you're brand new and you're like, I need an FBC. Anyways, so talk to me about these roundtables. How have they been going? I think they're freaking amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. So, and just to clarify, because a lot of people call that role different things. So it could be, some people call that person just a business coach for the franchisees. I've heard growth advisors. We used to call them field consultants way back. Area managers is sometimes the title, but whatever it is, we're talking right now, these roundtables are for the person that is in the field supporting the franchisees. So yeah, so far they've been going great. We did the pilot. We did 4 sessions. The first session, we spent some time really laying the groundwork for what it's all about and brainstorming topics. And what I get really excited about is that I've always had a sneaking suspicion that franchise business coaches, the biggest area of support they need is in how do I get my franchisees to listen to me because I don't have any credibility or I haven't built that trust and I don't know how to build that trust, or how do I get them to like take action or to believe that I'm their partner. This is not an us them situation, me coming in from corporate, and just trying to tell them what to do. Here, do this, like that. Why would you even have a franchise if that was why wouldn't you just have a corporate business? So yeah.
You used to face that, right? Like you were super young, you're female, you're blonde, you're walking around trying to tell people they need to sell more pigs in a blanket. And they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. How did you know we used to sell those?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know where that came from.
Yeah, that was kind of rando. Yeah. So, and the biggest thing is I was the boss's daughter. So people just rolled their eyes a lot at me, but exactly like we've talked about this, I think a little bit on the rant before, but it is not a joke. I really did, struggle with how do I get these franchisees who invested their life savings to listen to me? How do I build credibility? Because if there's no credibility and trust built, it doesn't matter what you do, they're not going to listen. And in that role, you're typically part of your role. I mean, your main thing is how do we get these franchisees profitable, which means we have to get them engaged and performing, but also compliant, just being compliant. Like, so how do you go in and we ranted about this, I think a few weeks ago, like me having to tell the older male franchisee that blue jeans weren't part of the uniform. Right. So I think I just, with the roundtables, really I've always wanted to do this, but I felt like I had to kind of step through certain things first. And the pandemic offered us the opportunity to like just organically start bringing people together, which really ended up being the birth of the roundtables. But here we are now, and really wanted to offer some kind of support for franchise business coaches. And oh my goodness, like it's so cool to see them come together and be like, oh, my people, like these are people that do what I do and they face the same challenges. And when we brainstormed and they're like, oh yeah, that I want to hear about that. How do you do this? And, you know, it's really a lot of the soft skills, I think, that people are, or the relational skills, you know, like that leadership, that trust building. How do you do all that? So I love that so far we've had some conversations about that. Lots of peer-to-peer, you know, sharing and problem solving and case studies already. And so now it's official. This is going to be a thing every 2 weeks, franchise business coaches subscription model. And we've got a private Facebook group for everybody to collaborate in and pour their heart out to each other when franchisees throw things at them and ask how to deal with that. So yeah, pretty exciting.
Sounds like you're going balls to the wall. That's a aviation term, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, pilots have all these levers, and on top of the levers there's like balls, and so if something goes wrong, they push all the balls forward. That's why it's called balls.
Okay, I've always thought that expression meant something different, but I don't know what it meant. It just, I know it means like going all out, but I don't know the physical anyway.
Okay, anyway.
Let's move on.
What I wanted to kind of convey is my experience in these roundtables is they're very different than traditional roundtables. Not because they're virtual. I think a lot of people are like, this is like a roundtable I'd see at a conference, and so what AC is doing must be a virtual one. They're so different. At a roundtable at a conference, typically my experience when I would run them is you get a lot of people that show up to the roundtable that don't want to say anything. They want to learn, and so you're trying to like derive conversation out of something that doesn't exist. It's loud because there's like 30 of these tables. Everyone's trying to talk over each other. You're trying to hear somebody ask you a marketing question while the table next to you is talking about investing in the UK, and you've only got like 15 minutes before you got to go on to the next one, and nothing happens, right?
Or there's one person dominating, flexing, and all their like, I know, like, because they know everything. And so now you get that, like, yeah, and that wouldn't stand at the
exactly.
AC.
Somebody call a seamstress because this guy's ripped. Anyways, I'm kidding. But these ones are awesome because everyone's got their cameras on. They're all looking at the camera, and I think if they don't actively, at least subconsciously, they know that somebody else could be looking at them, fixing their hair or like trying to get their sideburns to stay down. You know, so they're all engaged.
I'm super concerned about people getting value. If they're going to give up an hour of their week or whatever it is, like every 2 weeks, I don't want them to not come back. Like, it's almost a fun challenge. How can we make this so good that they're going to come back? And I've had a lot of people say, like, your roundtables are better than any of the other things I've been attending because there's this feeling of safety, this collaboration. And so, you know, you've seen me, I try to kind of get different people talking without putting anyone too much on the spot. I mean, I'll call on someone that I know is that's comfortable speaking. So that's the same for the franchise business coach roundtables. There's no lulls, there's no me just talking the whole time. That is not what we want. If they want that, they can listen to my podcast. But it's a very intentional, results oriented approach. You know, I want to make sure everybody leaves with a very clear key takeaway that changed their thinking or will change their behavior to make them a better franchise business coach, so they can get the franchisees, you know, higher performance, higher profitability.
Yeah, everyone's learning, everyone's participating. There's nobody dominating there. You know, even the people who are just there to listen and learn always pipe up and ask a question and get the conversation going, you know?
Yeah, that's the goal, to get them to that point. And sometimes I'll actually message them and say, hey, would you mind sharing how you guys do this? And they're like, sure. And I'm like, why didn't you just come off mute and do it? But they, you know, need a little nudge. So it's a lot of fun. So yeah, I hope we can get some more people there. They just need to go to our website, angelacote.com, and hit the roundtables button. And there's a little link right there. So
go there, everyone. Smash that button.
Smash it. All right. Is it wrap up time?
Wrap up time. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Go be awesome.